everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree. Hi if you're new here, or hey if you've been here before. So today I'm going to do a fun kind of, well, okay, let's just be real. It's a tag, and I like doing tags right now, especially when I'm so hyper focused on Camp NaNoWriMo, and I just needed something to kind of break up that feeling, because I don't necessarily want all of my videos in the month of April to be writing related, but some of you guys might actually enjoy that. But for today, I'm going to do the anything but books tag, and the reason I'm doing this is because I definitely think with the quarantine situations and everything that's going on in the world, I've been obviously trying to balance a lot of my life and trying to make sure that I'm still doing things that I like, and balance that with working from home and working with my husband being home as well. And it's just kind of an interesting time, and I figured this tag was going to be great to do because I can kind of talk about some of the stuff that I'm doing in quarantine, but really, I should say social distancing, not really quarantine, but you know what I mean. But I can talk about that stuff, but doing it in like a more structured way. And that's what I'm doing. We're just going to have fun. And it's, well, when the video comes out, it's going to be Friday. So like, hallelujah, right? Anyway, I'm going to jump into it. Just a quick disclaimer. I don't actually know the origin to this tag, but I've seen some of my favorite booktubers do it. Books and Lala did it a while ago. Elliot Brooks did it a couple months ago, I think. Murphy Napier also did it. And so I kept seeing this kind of in the last year quite a lot. And I was like, you know what? When I was looking for a tag, I was like, I like this one. So anyway, rambling aside, let's get into the tag. So question number 1 is name a cartoon or cartoons that I love. And really, I mean, I have watched quite a lot of cartoons in my life, and what I will say is I don't go back to them very often. So like, for instance, you know, when I was younger and a kid, like, you know, under 10, I used to love like the Rugrats and stuff like that, but I don't really watch them now. So I'm not going to talk about the stuff that I used to watch as a kid. I'll talk about kind of currently what I'm watching. Very recently, I just watched the Harley Quinn animated show, and I absolutely loved it. It was extremely mature, and it was kind of refreshing to see that, because so many of like the animated shows, especially back in the 90s and early 2000s, didn't want to risk taking those plunges. So kind of seeing an adult version of Harley Quinn, who is kind of a sociopath and has like a lot of problems, as we know, it was really refreshing. It was kind of, firstly for me, like, I know some people said that when I talked to them about it, that it was very like right off the bat there was like blood, gore, and cursing, and they were like, oh god, this is so abrasive. I didn't mind it. I was just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm expecting this kind of stuff. So personally, that's one of those shows that I'm really loving right now. I also would say that, you know, something that I can go back on as far as like anime goes, the Teen Titans original show, that's one I can watch any given time, and sometimes I find that comforting. I've been kind of diving back into anime a little bit more. I was rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho, and I'm still kind of rewatching that. I didn't finish it yet. I'm just, when I feel like watching it, I've been watching it. And I've also been in the mood to watch Full Metal Alchemist. The original series is one of my all-time favorites, but I've never actually watched Brotherhood. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I've never watched that series. I heard it's supposed to be truer to the manga, and I'm probably never going to read the manga, so sorry. But I think I might end up picking that one up. And if you have any other anime suggestions, I would be completely open to watching them. Otherwise, sometimes when I get in a rut with shows, or like with anime or animated shows, I always go back to Sailor Moon. It's my OG favorite anime. Question 2 is, what is your favorite song right now? And I'm always kind of in the mood to sing and dance. What I will say is pretty much the one song that I'm in like having on repeat every time I'm in the mood to listen to music is Lady Gaga's Stupid Love. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Lady Gaga is a goddess, and I probably will love anything she puts out, but specifically I love Lady Gaga's art pop era. That album is my favorite Lady Gaga album of all time, and Stupid Love kind of really reminds me of those songs that were on art pop. So I'm just really excited that she's going, I don't want to say not she's going back, but she's kind of like having some of those more poppier beats, since Joanne was a little bit more mellower. Yeah, so I'm obsessed with that. I've also been listening to a lot of like movie scores and soundtracks, because I'm writing, and typically when I write a lot, I have a Pandora station that's just dedicated to movie scores and music from video games and any kind of instrumental stuff, because I don't like to have words when I'm writing. I like to kind of have like a background and just kind of get in the mood. So some of my scores that I've been listening to have been the Wonder Woman soundtrack, the Captain America Civil War soundtrack, the Thor Ragnarok soundtrack. Clearly there's a theme for the soundtracks I like. Also, the Inception soundtrack is brilliant and I absolutely love that. And then some like other like artists and stuff. I really like the Piano Guys. I like Lindsey Sterling, and I can't remember her last name. Her first name's Taylor, but she also does like violin covers. She's really good. So those are kind of what's been on lately. And otherwise, I probably could like pull up my YouTube and just go, oh yeah, these are the songs that I've been streaming. But my brain is just mush and I can't think about what else I've been listening to. Question 3 is, what can I do for hours aside from reading? And what I'd probably say for this one is I can easily play video games for hours. More specifically, I haven't been into like story-driven video games as of late. I feel like most of the time, because like there's so many hours that have to go into video games, and when I do get sucked in, I don't want to stop, and I get very mad when I have to stop in the middle of a mission or, you know, restart, whatever. So I haven't been playing as many storyline video games. Instead, I've been doing Apex Legends and other battleground style video games. I haven't really been playing Fortnite. It's not my favorite. I complain quite a bit about playing it, so I always try to avoid that one. But I do know that Call of Duty has come out with a new battleground, and I still have to check that one out. Otherwise, occasionally I dabble with Destiny 2, and me and my husband have recently gotten back into Beat Saber because we were playing it so much when it first came out, and then we just kind of stopped playing it. So being stuck in the house, that's been a good way to have some fun and exercise, and that's kind of what we've been playing. Number 4 is, what is something you love to do that your followers might be surprised by? I have no idea. I mean, I don't have, there's a few faithful, loyal followers that I have, and I'm so happy you guys are here. I have no idea what you guys think about me or what I do in my spare time. I would probably say, I mean, I've talked about this on my channel in the past, but I love doing obstacle course races. I'm very athletic, and I love to challenge myself a lot. So I do obstacle course races such as Savage Race, Spartan Race. I used to do Warrior Dash before they folded. I would love to do a Tough Mudder one day, but I typically don't have anyone to do that with, and you usually have to buddy up for those. So in general, I love to do that kind of stuff, and I'm super competitive. So if you catch me at one of them, you will see that I'm like in the zone. Other than that, I really like to do like extreme things, I guess. I was skydiving once, and I would love to go again. I want to go bungee jumping. I want to go cliff jumping. And there's just a ton of things like in general, like with the world and nature that I want to try. But clearly that's not going to happen anytime soon. But those are definitely some things that you might be surprised by. I'm not sure. But if you have any specific questions, I mean, you can ask me them down below. Eventually, I would love to do a Q&A, but I just feel like at this point in my channel, it would not be worthwhile because I'd get like 4 questions. But if you have any specifics, let me know. So question number 5 is, what is your favorite unnecessarily specific thing to learn about? And this is extremely hard, and I wish I thought this through before I looked, because obviously every time I do a tag, I just go in blind and I don't pre-plan my answers. Unnecessarily specific thing to learn about. I fall down YouTube holes, and I guess that's where I'd kind of end up learning about a lot of weird things. For instance, like I went down a dissociative identity disorder hole one time on YouTube, and I just started like watching all of these videos about just people who have DID and like some popular channels that are on YouTube and stuff like that. I was following a lot of their videos. I've gone down holes about and I can't remember her last name. It was Anna something, but she was kind of blowing up, and then she has like possibly a Netflix like documentary or something coming out about her, but basically like she pretended she was like European royalty and like swindled all these people into paying for this luxurious lifestyle that she didn't actually have, and like she kind of like catfished a bunch of people in real life. That was interesting. I watched like hours upon hours of YouTube videos about that. And in general, like just commentary, like I just end up hopping. So like for instance, when we'll just say like I'm just gonna throw a big famous one out there, like the Tati James Charles scandal on YouTube. Like I would just end up like following like these rabbit holes of how that like drama was playing out. So like I'm just using that as like an example of how I end up getting in these YouTube holes, because I will start one place that like is suggested to me, and the next thing I know it's 4 hours later and I've watched like all of these like information videos about this one topic. So I can't think of anything specifically like other than the few that I've mentioned, but I do that a lot and it really doesn't take much. It just has to be a well done video, and if you hook me in, I'm hooked. And there we go. Number 6 is, what is something unusual you know how to do? And I don't think I can do anything unusual, to be honest. I'm pretty basic and I'm pretty talentless, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to degrade myself by any means, but like as far as like unique things, I can't think of a single thing that I would find unique about myself as far as like what's unusual. And that's really it. If I think of something by the end of this video, I'll either tag it along, like I'll tack it on at the end, or I'll leave it in the comments. But honestly, like I don't think I do anything. So if anyone who's watching this video knows me in real life and you think I know something unusual, tell me in the comments below, and then everyone can enjoy your feedback as well. Number 7 is, name something you've made in the past year, and if so, show us. So this is gonna be kind of hard, I guess, but maybe what I can do is I can kind of show, I think I might have a picture and I can kind of like put the camera onto the my desktop. But I make bookmarks for fun, and I do all hand painted and hand lettering bookmarks, and they're not like super extravagant, and because like I'm still learning and practicing like how to do everything, it's something that like they're definitely like they're flawed, very much so, but I have so much fun doing them. And I make, usually when I'm bored, and for hence like being in the situation we're in, sometimes I'll just pull out stuff and like to doodle and draw. It's definitely more of like bullet journal type things. It's not something that takes a huge amount of talent, but it's something that I just have fun and really enjoy doing. Okay, so like those are some of the bookmarks that I have made in the past. I typically do quotes from books. So like this one is from Caravel. This one is from Simon versus the Homeopathic Agenda. This one is from The Diviners. And if I click, those are some more. That's just a quote. That one is from Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. I made that for one of my friends. I made this one from Furyborn, and that one was for my friend, Pride and Prejudice. I obviously said that. So like that's some of the stuff that I've made in the past. I started off by doing Harry Potter ones, and I did for all of my friends, I did different houses, and I have a few of those left, but they're like the real crappy versions of them, because that was like the first time I ever started making bookmarks. Initially I had, I was trying to sell them on Etsy, but because one, I didn't really showcase the fact that I had an Etsy store, and 2, I just didn't have the demand there. It became too much to kind of keep up with the Etsy store, and I was losing so much money because like it costs money to run an Etsy store, and I wasn't making any money. So I was just paying to have a storefront that wasn't being used. So really, if anything, like I would rather just make them for fun, and or like do giveaways with them ever, like if I was ever interested in that. But for the most part, not many people are interested. Maybe people will be now, I don't know, but that's the thing that I like to make. Okay, moving on. So number 8 is, what is your most recent personal project? And I mean, as far as like projects go, the only thing that I could really title a project is editing 2 books. I'm editing the book that I wrote on my own, which is, I titled that Prophecy Project, and I'm editing my co-written work. And our goals are to obviously query both of them eventually, but those are really the only projects that I'm starting. As far as things that I want to get done in my house, there are a few rooms, and like when I say rooms, I mean like my basement, my garage, and like kind of like a back storage room that just kind of has been a collect-all that I would love to go through and organize all of them, but we haven't started yet. So those are personal projects that might come up, but nothing crazy right now. So number 9 is, tell us something you think about often. And I guess moving away from the obvious one that's been on minds for everyone in the world, I would say. A lot of times, I mean, I know on like a more serious note, I do deal with like imposter syndrome and wondering if I'm doing things right or if like a lot of my work is pointless, especially with writing. I go through fluxes. Like sometimes I get really excited and I'm like, and you know what, at the end of the day, I'm doing it for fun and I will get it somewhere. Like if I'm really interested in publishing it, I'll publish it myself. Like I don't care if I ever make it into like a traditional publishing. But I still also deal with a lot of those, I think everyone does, of those kind of feelings of, you know, I'm not going to be good enough. Like, I'm not going to be able to query, like, seeing people get ahead, even though I'm so excited for them. It's kind of like, but I'm never going to get there either. So there's a lot to do with that. Similar with writing, I also deal with that in my therapy job too. Sometimes I struggle with like, you know, am I going to be worthwhile? Like trying to move up, trying to become a supervisor or any other position, going to different jobs, you know, am I even worth it? That kind of stuff. So like that's stuff that's on my mind quite a lot. But in a more positive route, I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts going through my head at all once. It could literally be something as simple as like what I want to eat, because food is always on my mind, to just kind of like the piles of like books that I want to read, to videos that I want to film for YouTube. And I do have like a bullet journal type of thing where I write down a lot of stuff because I don't want to forget it, because I will forget it quite a bit. So it's hard to say that I'm always thinking about something, just because I'm literally thinking about so many things at once. And this is why my brain needs an outlet, and YouTube and writing and reading and talking to people, that's my outlet, because otherwise, clearly I ramble quite a lot. And number 10 on this list is give something that's your favorite, but try to make it kind of weird and oddly specific, not something generic like your favorite food or your favorite color. So for this one, okay, I got it. Since I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt, actually, I'm going to say my favorite Star Wars character, and that is Ahsoka Tano. So the reason I love Ahsoka is because she's so like amazing and also so underrated, and it's such an injustice that her character has like not been given more screen time, because she's so interesting. And going back, like this is one of those oddly specific tangents I guess I've gotten down before, and like kind of reading through her origin and reading who she is, she's like so in depth. And before like the Legends series, like before Disney came and took everything over and said like all of the books like didn't matter, she was so complex and interesting, and how she kind of like wavered between like a Sith and a Jedi, and how like her story and her personality changed so much when her mentor Anakin turned to the dark side. Like it's just fascinating, and I just need more of her, but done properly. The only Star Wars book I've read two, technically. I read a middle grade Star Wars, and I read Ahsoka, and that book was a young adult book, and I was kind of disappointed in it because it was really a book about friendship, and I wanted more of Ahsoka being badass. Like I wanted more, because her character was so complex, and I felt like so far the things that we've gotten in the media that are canon are just lackluster. So if anyone has a specific book recommendation or like media recommendation so that I can get more Ahsoka, that would be great, because I want more and I want it done well. That's all I ask. Although apparently they did cast someone to be Ahsoka, and I don't know if that's for a Disney show. I'm kind of excited though. So yeah, anyway. But okay guys, that is the tag. That's where we're at, and I've rambled for way too long. This video is always way too long because I don't shut up. And I just feel like that's how things are going right now, because I'm stuck and I have limited people and time talking, and come talk to me in the comments, okay? All right, so I will end it here before I rant anymore. But if you have any questions, let me know down below what you want to ask me. If you have any specific responses to the questions that I ran through in this video, I would love to hear your answers. And if you have done this tag recently or you're gonna do it, let me know and I'll check out yours. Until next time, guys, I'll see you then. Bye.